Well, hello there. My name is Michelina Friss. We are here on the campus of Roberts Wesleyan College for another Coach's Corner show. I have Miss Kristin Concordia with me. She is the women's lacrosse head coach. Kristin, thanks for coming down, hanging out with me for a little bit.
Thanks for having me.
You're
Absolutely.
welcome. Wanted to hear about the women's lacrosse program.
Yes.
So I'll just go ahead and I'll jump right into it. Can you just tell me a little bit about yourself? Like, how did you get involved with coaching lacrosse? Like, were you a former player? And how did you wind up here at the school at Roberts?
Absolutely. So I grew up in Webster, New York.
Okay.
And I was a goalie for Webster Thomas. And I was recruited to play at Division I Siena College out in Albany. I played 4 years there. I had an excellent 4 years, and I just loved my experience. That when I graduated, I had the typical college graduate, what do I do now kind of phase, and I got into coaching youth, and I got into coaching at the high school level, and I was a JV coach for a while, and I coached assistant at the varsity level, and I realized I kind of wanted to get back into the college scene. So my uncle is actually a professor here, and so I was able to talk to the current head coach, and I became her assistant. And as I was finishing up my master's online through Canisius, I did my internship with her, and just fell in love with the coaching here and just the school and the atmosphere. And when she was on her way out for bigger things, I applied for the head coaching job, and I was blessed to get it.
There you go. It's one of the things I always like doing about the coaches shows, and I feel like I say this every single time, probably because I do. I love hearing like the stories about the coaches, and like when I ask them, like, tell me how you wound up here at this job, there's always like, I had practiced doing this, I put myself in the right place at the right time, and like here I am.
Absolutely.
And I have a head coaching position.
Yes.
So that's cool.
Yes.
So I know I don't need to tell you this, but you have a really lively group of girls this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just was able to have a lot of fun with them, and I did a promo video with them. As you know, the Carpool Karaoke. It's available on the Mic social media accounts, and we had a lot of fun.
Yes.
The Carpool Karaoke, I think that'd be fun with anyone, but with them, like, it was really fun.
Yeah.
So I one of the things I remember asking them is that I was like, in season, you guys spend like a lot of time with one another. So do you feel like you're a little family? Like, are you guys close friends? Like, and they were immediately, didn't hesitate. They were like, oh my God, yeah, we're like sisters, and like Kristin is so cool. As being such an important person in their life, what are the things that are most important to you to instill in your players and pass on to them as they're at this really interesting time in life? Like, as you just said, you did the 4 years of college thing, you were an athlete, so you know what it's like. There's a lot going on. What's important to you to pass on to your players?
I wanted them to make sure that they knew the importance of having personal values and team values and having a culture within a program, and knowing that when they graduate that they still have their values and they hold strong to that. So I started off with, when I first became the head coach, I knew that it was many different coaches and there was many different cultures. So I wanted to instill this family-like culture, and I always preach to them that we have to have 4 strong, non-negotiable core values, and that number one, being a family is huge for us. It's our main part of our culture. I got away my first couple years. I said, you guys are friends. You guys need to be friends with each other. But then I got away from that. As I grew up and grew older and grew in my own kind of coaching style, I realized that being friends, sometimes friends are not so nice to you. Sometimes friends, hurt you. But, as a sister or as a family member, like, you'll love your sister no matter what. You'll fight, you'll have your bad days with your sister, but no matter what, you're going to have your sister's back. So that's why we've shifted into this, like, sister mentality, because they don't always have to like each other. You don't always have to have good days, but you're always going to have your sister's back, and on the field and off the field. So I really started to push that, and they've enjoyed each other's companies, where I don't have to force any bonding or team chemistry, because the personalities they have, they love each other.
Yeah. That's really cool. That just seems like a really kind of like a natural maturation, because you have 19 players on your roster this year. Everybody's not going to click with everybody. And not that everybody's not going to fight with everybody, but certain personalities, you're just going to click. It's a part of life. And so, if you like make that okay, but realize to be like, hey, to be a part of this team, like, there's a certain level of maturation and way that you need to handle yourself, that's really going to help the overall team atmosphere.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that seems like, it's not only are the players growing, but you get a chance to grow like as a person too,
absolutely.
and as like the coach.
It's the fun part.
Yeah. So what are some other ways that you feel like you personally have been enriched being a coach, where things that you've learned about yourself where you're like, wow, this is something I'm really good at, or wow, I could grow when it comes to this? Are there any like realizations you've had?
As I grow as a coach, I'm learning the balance between having fun with the girls and knowing and making sure they have fun during practice and on the field, but then also having that balance of hard work and when to get serious. So each year I'm growing in that, but I think that I'm doing it along with the girls, of learning when it's time to relax and breathe and just have fun with each other, and when it's work time and it's go time, and
absolutely.
And I mean business time, or don't fool around with coach time. She means it's time to go. I'm learning, and just as much as they're learning, of that equal balance between fun and work.
Gotcha. Very nice. So just some specifics about this season. You guys have had quite a season. You have a really good season. You started off quite hot. I mean, you're still going good. Yeah. But I mean, through your first 10 games, you were 8-2. So now at this point, as of today, you guys have an 11-4 record. You're 4-3 in the ECC. We were talking about this before. You clinched a playoff spot, which is
absolutely
awesome. You're going to be playing, you think, Malloy.
I think Malloy.
And it's going to be this upcoming Tuesday.
Yes.
So first of all, my first question is, what do you think has clicked for you guys this year? Is it like both the stuff that you've already talked about off the court, but like also, or I should say the playing field, but also on the playing field? What has worked for you guys?
Honestly, I think it's the mental side of the game. We've always had the talent. We've always had the capability of beating these better teams like we did from the beginning of the season. But I think the mental side of our game really grew and really helped us beat these top-ranked teams. And I think that previous years, we would do so well and then we would die out a little bit, or we would be doing well but things wouldn't go our way, and we'd lose, and then they would just dig our hole quicker and with longer and longer. But this year I really think that we're mentally tough, we're mentally stronger. We understand what it takes to play a full 60 minutes, and that any given day anything could happen, and that we're capable of being competitive against these teams, and we could be a top 25 team. So I think that them just believing it in themselves and not having one or two players kind of run the show, having majority of the girls and look for each other and set each other up. But I think just the mental side of it and just them wanting to help each other out really excelled us through those games where it was difficult, or we knew that the team coming in was going to be a great team, but we ended up beating them.
Right. Gotcha. So going into your playoff game, you have the game this Saturday, your last regular season game. So of course you want to end with a bang and a win, I imagine. And then next week for your playoff game, what's the strategy going in? Like when you're in the locker room and you're getting them ready as the coach, what are you saying to your players?
So we've already played Malloy. So going into the game this weekend, we have our last ECC regular season game against LIU, which is top in the country, top in our ECC. So they've always been very competitive, but we've always known what we're capable of doing with LIU. So our goal is to be competitive and to play the full 60 minutes where we end that game where LIU saying like, wow, they did not let us win easily, or like we played competitive the entire game. That's our goal. And going into Tuesday against Malloy, we didn't really get a chance to show them everything that we are capable of doing. We're still working on the mental side of it, so there are some setbacks against Malloy on Saturday that we wish we could have pushed through a little bit quicker. So going into Tuesday, and it's at their place with their fans, so their officials, those Long Island officials, absolutely. So we're ready to show them like what we're capable of doing, and coming out with our first ECC conference win.
Well, I think you sound like you're ready. I've asked them the same thing, and they're excited about it.
Good.
So I'm wishing, I'm hoping to hear for some really good news and some really exciting news.
Good.
So it's always the customary here on these Coaches Corner shows that I have to end with asking you a few trivia questions, and then we can let you go.
Okay.
Okay? Really easy, shouldn't be too bad, but let's see what we do. Okay. Can you tell me, as of right now, who is the high scorer on your team?
The highest scorer on our team.
Who has scored the most goals?
Emily Tamai. Is it number 7?
It's
or
Emily.
Is it Emily Knight, number
there
10?
You go. You're just getting the Emily's mixed up.
For sure.
Do you know who's second?
For goals?
For goals.
Is it not Tamai?
It's not. It's Brinkle.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
So proud of her. Awesome.
Had quite a season.
Yes, so proud of her. I'm so lucky we have her.
Yeah.
We stole her from another team.
Did
Transfer.
you?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, awesome. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. If I, by some chance, were riding around in a 12-passenger van with your players and I asked them, who are the 2 closest girls on the team? Like, who are the best friends? Because I want them to do a chest bump, maybe for like a promotional video. Who would they all point to? Who are the people that they'd point to?
Now, who would do it, or the 2 closest girls together?
Who, if I asked them, like had most of the players in
Well,
front
one
of
is definitely Ellen O'Neill. She would definitely do it, but she would do it with anybody.
Yeah.
I think the 2 closest girls could be Taylor Nathan and Emily Tomai. They would do it together, but is it them?
It wasn't them, but I will tell you that Ellen, she did it. Like the first, it didn't work out. She's like, I'll do it. And she stepped in and she did it.
I feel like everybody would do it. Maddie Walsh would definitely do it. Ellen O'Neill would definitely do it.
Ellen stepped in and she did it, so I didn't have to like go down the line. It was good.
Yeah.
But it like worked. She like was in the camera. It was great.
She's got a personality.
It's great. Yes. Third question. Final
Yes.
question. Will you be winning your game against Moulay for the playoffs and going on after
Without
that?
a doubt. I don't know. That's the one question I got right.
That's it.
Come on.
You're good. Kristin, thank you for hanging out with me today.
Thank you.
Guys, make sure to look for this Coach's Corner and the next one with the Men's Coach's Corner on Mick on the Mic social media accounts.